Happy Easter. Jesus is risen. Last night, Father Peter used to chant, Jesus is risen, and the whole church resounded, he is truly risen. I want to hear it. Jesus is risen. When I was sitting on the principal celebrant chair and the reading was going on, I was sitting down quietly and smiling in my head. Why was I doing that? I said, oh my God, the Lord is truly risen. Last year, by this time, where were you? Where were we? We were all hiding in our rooms. We were afraid of the virus. We could not come out. And we did not know what was going to happen. And here we are today. The Lord is indeed risen. He is truly risen. We are still alive. We are still gathered here in the name of Jesus. When I was thinking about today, Easter Sunday, I was asking myself 3 questions. These are the questions. 1, did anybody believe in the resurrection of Jesus before it happened? Did anybody in the world believe in the resurrection of Jesus before it happened? Jesus were moving about, talking to his disciples, and he would tell them you will go to Jerusalem to die. But on the 3rd day, he will resurrect. And anytime Jesus would tell them this, they became troubled for hearing about the death of Jesus. And because they are not adding to what Jesus has said about his resurrection. And this is really, really true when Jesus resurrected and they were told. What was their reaction? Was it a reaction of believing in the resurrection or the reaction of not believing in the resurrection? I think it's very clear to all of us for what we have heard so many times on such a day. Did anybody believe in the resurrection of Jesus before it happened? Then my next question is, did the gospel also give enough evidence to tell us that Jesus, or to make us believe that Jesus resurrected? Now, this inspired me or challenged me to look at all the readings very carefully. Not only from all the readings from the different writers of the gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all wrote about the resurrection of Jesus. And I was looking at what are they saying. I was just searching to find out one person who believed in the resurrection of Jesus before it happened. I was just looking for one person. And from the readings, I could not find even a single person who believed that Jesus was going to resurrect. And I was sad. In fact, it made me like, if you read the book of Revelation, sometimes the author of the book of Revelation, St. John, when he is looking for answers to certain things he encountered and he would not find it, he became sad. I was sad. I could not find it. Then I said to myself, and what happened to Mary, the mother of Jesus? What happened to her? So I said, let me look again at the readings. I look at Matthew. Then Matthew will say, on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary took spices, went to the tomb, and they were going to attend to the body of Jesus as a dead person. Matthew mentioned two persons, Mary Magdalene or Mary Magdalene and the other Mary. They went. Then, when they were going, they were worried about the stone at the entrance of the tomb. Fortunately for them, the stone had been removed. They met an angel, one angel. The angel told them Jesus is resurrected. So they should go and tell the disciples, or Jesus is even going to Galilee, and they should go and meet him in Galilee. So that was Matthew. Then I went to Mark. Then Mark said, Mary of Magdala, Mary Magdalene. Then he mentioned another woman, Salome. Then he mentioned the third woman, Mary, mother of James, who went to the tomb and who met the angel, who told them Jesus is resurrected, and that they should go and tell the disciples to meet Jesus, he who is going ahead to Galilee. So again, no Mary, mother of Jesus. I went to Luke. Then Luke again mentioned Mary Magdalene. And he didn't mention about Mary, the mother of Jesus. He also mentioned about Joanna. Luke also mentioned about Joanna or Joanne. Luke also mentioned about Mary, mother of James, and the other woman from Galilee, who also went to the site, the cemetery, the tomb site. And the angel also told them about the resurrection of Jesus. In fact, Luke said two angels. They found two angels. Matthew and Mark will say one angel. Luke say two angels. Then John mentioned about Mary Magdalene alone and no other woman. And then when she had encountered the two angels who had told her about the resurrection of Jesus, and she went back to report to Peter. When she was reporting to Peter, she used the pronoun, the plural, we, not I. So this also suggests, or this gives an indication that she did not go there alone, but with other women. So I was still worrying. In fact, I was sad. I was troubled. Why? The Gospels were not mentioning about Mary, the most important person in the life of Jesus. The most important person in our salvation after Jesus. Why is she not mentioned? In fact, I was troubled for some time. Then it hit me like a thunderbolt. It was a sudden awareness which came to me. And that was, why should Mary be mentioned in the stories of the resurrection? It was not an omission. It was not an accident, but it was for a calculated purpose. It was for a calculated purpose. Why? What is the essence? What is the purpose of the resurrection stories that all the four Gospels wrote about, mentioned? What was the purpose? To make Peter, John, the disciples, the friends of Jesus, people around Jesus, the women who did not believe in the resurrection, to come to believe it. That was the purpose. They just wanted them to come to know and believe in the resurrection of Jesus. And the question is, did Mary need that in order to believe in the resurrection of Jesus? The Mary, mother of Jesus, did he need that? She didn't need for an angel to come and tell her before he would believe that Jesus is resurrected. Jesus had said it many times and several times. And Mary believed in that. He hid all in her heart. You know, from the birth of Jesus, there were a lot of things that happened about Jesus. And the gospel writers will always say, and Mary kept everything in her heart. Mary was a woman who was able to keep everything. And you know, when I was looking at the stories about Jesus, you know, sometimes we for us who have been born at this time and have come to know all that had happened before us, we always think that the story of Jesus was written from his birth to the end, to his death. No. The story of Jesus was written backwards. The story of the life of Jesus, it was written backwards. It started from the resurrection, and it went back to his birth. The virgin conception of Jesus, that Mary conceived Jesus without any man. The incarnation, that Jesus is God who came down from heaven to live among us as human beings. All these were not known or were never considered by anybody until after the death of Jesus. I tell you, Mary could not tell her story about how Jesus was conceived and born to people when Jesus was alive. She knew it and she kept everything in her heart. So she knew who Jesus was. And so when Jesus resurrected, she still believed. She was only waiting for the opportune time for all these people, Matthew and Luke, to come to her, to ask more about Jesus, for her to tell them, to write them. So that is what happened to Mary. Look at when Mary and Jesus happened to be at the wedding of Cana, when the people did not know Jesus and had no idea about what Jesus could do. What did Mary say? Son, help them. Because she knew Jesus. She knew what Jesus could do. She knew who Jesus was, that Jesus was God among us. And Jesus could help in any situation, in any condition. And so she asked, and Jesus changed water into wine. Mary knew everything about Jesus, and he believed that Jesus was resurrected. So she was not needed to be included in the story of the resurrection. The story is about how the people came to know it and they came to believe. Mary already believed in the resurrection. So today we celebrate the resurrection, the most important day in our life as believers, as Christians. As St. Paul said, if there were no resurrection of Jesus, there is no religion, there is no Christianity, there is no point for anybody to believe in anything. It is the resurrection that made all that happen in the life of Jesus to become true and accepted. If Jesus had not resurrected, all others would have been false, untrue. All that they came to know about him, all that he said about him would have been false. It is the resurrection which made everything truthful, true and real. So when we celebrate the resurrection, we celebrate the victory and the power of God. The people who were killing Jesus thought that they were finishing Jesus. They were doing away with Jesus and all his teachings, ministry, mission. No, Jesus is a troublesome guy. They were wicked to him. But Jesus, though crucified, he was killed. He rose from dead. That nobody can challenge God. Nobody can challenge the power of God. And that Jesus has conquered Satan. Jesus has conquered evil. Jesus has conquered sin. Light has conquered darkness. And the story of the resurrection invites all of us to be at the side of Jesus, the victor. We should be by the side of Jesus. We should fight for him. We should stand for him. We should live for him. And it is only by that we come to share in his victory. We come to share in his glory. So that is the message of the resurrection for us. We are at the side of victory. We are not at the side of the defeated. You know, when I was looking at some of the things that is happening now, when you you listen to news on TV, look at what is happening, the killings and this. And I was looking at it and I was asking myself, so what is in the mind of such people who tend to be evil, so wicked? What motivates them to do that? And, you know, I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. But when you look at them, when they are arrested, then you can see, at least no matter what motivated them, they come to see how stupid they have been. When they are arrested and they are being led by the police to get into the car, to be taken to prison, to be brought to court, to be tried, if they are lucky and they do not die. And in all this, no matter what motivated them, what they were thinking before they went to do such atrocity, at that point, they see the stupidity of their action, no matter what, no matter how stubborn their heart may be. So it is never good in any way to be at the side of evil, to be at the side of darkness, because the light shall always be victorious. That Jesus will always win. So today, as we celebrate this important day in our life, may we pray to God that he will fill us with the truth of Christ to inspire and motivate our life, so that we side with Jesus, we move with Jesus, we live with Jesus in order to share his victory and glory, so that the resurrection become meaningful to us today.